Hello, and welcome back to another episode of VanillaTyme. My name is Steph, and this is episode 3 of season 10. And today I'm doing that thing that I like to do. You know, gathering dirt. And, I have a plan today. The plan does not involve mining dirt. The plan involves building a shop in the shopping district. Kind of 2 shops? Not exactly 2 shops. No, more like half a shop. Let me explain what I mean. So, Harding and I got plots next to each other, and we've decided that we want to build not one shop, but each build 2 halves? 1 half? Each build 1 half of a shop. So, I'm going to have the left half, and Harding is going to have the right half. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But yeah, basically I have gone and designed a, well, I guess I can kind of show you, like it's not done yet, but let me show you what I got built so far. Okay, so we're still kind of in early stages. I've started doing like a little bit of like detail work, but this is kind of the start of what we got here. So it's this kind of like little nice rounded sloped roof. We've got pale oak on top, which I'm gonna have to collect. With a deep slate rim, and we've got like the stripped birch logs and the stripped dark oak log, oak planks to give us a little bit of that like kind of color gradient. So it starts off a little darker and then kind of lightens up as it goes. And the dark oak's just a nice like deep rich color that makes the build just kind of look nicer. I'm probably still gonna add like some dividing bits here, a little bit of more definition. And yeah, that's where the kind of like the flowers and stuff have started up. It's kind of looking a little bit similar all the way around, but the really interesting thing is from the outside, before we even bother going in yet, is I've got this mirrored kind of outline opposite it. And that was the idea about the whole 2 builds idea, is that we would take this, mirror it on the other side, and then it would kind of look like it's like the same building. It's just one big building cut in half. And I sort of got the idea from if you watch Hermitcraft, was it B-Dubs and Doc wound up splitting a haunted house, well, unfinished haunted house build that Green built in the previous season. It was like season 6 to season 7, I think. And yeah, so Green builds his house, doesn't wind up finishing it, doesn't really get any use out of it, likes the build, and then sells it to B-Dubs and Doc. Because B-Dubs had just joined the server again, and he, I guess, had nowhere to live. He wanted to buy a place or something. I don't remember what was going on. But point is they bought it, they split it, and then in the next season, I guess they both built it, but like they made a bit out of it, so it was like 2 separate houses. And they each lived in half of it and like populated it, but like they put a wall in between or something like that. Anyway, it was a whole bit. Point being is the idea of having this actually be one big build, just split into 2 different plots. So, and there's going to be more of a gap than this, right? There's only 2 gap block here, because technically this is the border, right? These are the border lines for each one. We can build up to, this on the one side and up to here on the other side, like that. Yeah, I think in actuality, it's going to be about a like 5 or 6 block gap in between, which would be interesting. Here's the inside. I decided to go with like a nice open layout here. Maybe we can put some like, what's it called? Some tables in the center, and then we can sell some stuff, put some things on top of it, and we can line the walls with sails and stuff. Don't know what to do with this back window area. Maybe we'll add something up here just as a visual thing. But if we come up, we've got kind of a bit of a staircase. Now, remember, a lot of this is subject to change. I haven't like completely confirmed everything. I may make some edits depending. Like, for example, this is only 2 blocks wide. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe I need to pull this out a block, in which case this whole thing has to come out a block, in which case then there's a block in between here, which may impact something else. I don't know. My point is that things are subject to change. Also, this I may even move over and turn it into half a door, and then it's like half a door on each side, so it's one big doorway. again, it's split in half. That could be cool. So I don't know. There's a bunch of different things that I could still do with this, and I need to obviously populate the inside and put a roof over it. This is, I've kind of got the idea for the roof here. I don't know if this is going to stick because I haven't really figured out how I'm going to get the rest of this done. Like it can just I guess, and then come off the side or something. That might work, actually. I don't know. We shall see. I need to experiment and play with it. Also, you can see that this part doesn't reach back all the way. I may decide to pull that back. Just little things that I might change. Oh, and by the way, villagers are in. Yeah. Remember that thing with the ghast and the moving them up and this stuff? Yeah, it worked. We also got the zombie in. We stuck a little head on top of him so he didn't burn while he was in transport. I did put a lid over his little area, just in case. I know they don't break, but if for whatever reason something malfunctioned, it's nice to be safe. You might also notice we put the water in. So yeah, it's going in different directions. I didn't really notice until afterwards that I have these two going towards this one, and then these two are both coming in this way. So that lane isn't really used unless they spawn in it, which I think they're too far away for. I don't know, I haven't done the math. And yeah, it's kind of annoying. But also you can see that the trapdoors are missing. That's because the dudes don't go in if the trapdoor is out. And that is because it causes the hitbox to extend by a little bit where the water isn't going. And yes, I did have to put signs in because, yeah, the water goes everywhere otherwise. And because fire take is off on the server, you can see that the lava inside works perfectly fine and the whole farm doesn't burn down. So, don't worry about that. It's always fun remembering that fire take is off because I have played on other servers. I do play on other servers where fire take is not off. And, when it's not off, bad things happen. And the last thing we want is our iron farm burning down. Ahem. Why are there only 4 of you? There are 6 beds, and that means that y'all need to get busy. Make a baby, please. Please and thank you. Yeah, we have been a little busy. Not that busy, honestly. We put a couple more guys in, so we moved the ones that we already had. We got Silk Touch and Power 5, so added those in. I wasn't sure about Power 5, whether I wanted to keep it or not, but I didn't have it. Harding did, because I think he went and bought it, but I don't know. I think it's just, it's nice to have, especially because I don't have Unbreaking on this thing. And did I say Unbreaking? I meant Infinity. I don't have Infinity on my bow. And I could put Mending on it, but for now, I wanted the ability, if I don't put Mending on it, to replace my bow, and I will need a Power 5. So we moved the 2 in that we had before, and then we got Power 5, so I could put it on my bow. And that's, yeah, the McBaby. Also, did I mention we got a conduit? We have 2 now, I think. Harding's got one over at the Ocean Monument. In fact, I think he's done a little bit of work over here. But yeah, I put one over there so I could more. Ooh, this is dangerous. What am I doing? Oh god. Yeah, no. Never mind. I am not invisible. I forgot. Where's the platform? Yeah. Anyway, he's been doing the invisible underwater sand thing and then getting rid of the water with our sponges. So we can take a look at that a little bit later once it's safe and we've got an actual access point. We were thinking about doing an underground tunnel all the way under the water as a way to connect the 2 bases, which could be a lot of fun, especially considering I hadn't really put much consideration into what would be underneath the island, because presumably it would be all hollow, which I could then fill with things like farms and stuff that I don't want on the surface. I always have an underground base, right? But this time it doesn't need to be underground. It's just going to be closer to the water, which is fine because the conduit's going to keep the mobs away and also keeps me from dying when I'm down there, so I won't drown while I'm building the island up. Also, I needed a place to store heads, and this seemed like a good idea for now. I may take this down later, but for now, it is the, I guess, secret underground part of the base, which, now that I look at it, I may have to put some walls up. maybe I'll box stuff in and make rooms and stuff, and be like, yeah, it'll be an inside-out base. It'll be kind of cool. And here's the build done with the side-by-side for the left one, which would be mine, and the right one, which is going to be Harding's. And as you can see, let me get inside here. We've done a little bit of interior decoration, not a whole lot, because we're probably going to add some stuff just on the fly after the build is on the server. We did increase the width here by a block, just so there's a little bit more space up top. We'll probably put something in here a little bit later, but I wanted to leave it open concept just so that Harding and I can each customize our halves the way we want. Now, the centerpiece, like I mentioned before, this is going to be a lot more spaced out, and they're not going to be perfectly symmetrical. So like there'll be a few blocks vertically out from one another. Not vertically. One will be closer to the road than the other one. But anyway, I've taken my schematic of this side, and now we're going to go do some material collection, and then we'll build it on the server. Okay, so I've collected my materials. I think I have everything I need. We've got a whole bunch of stuff here and a whole bunch of stuff, well, a few things here. I haven't like crafted everything out into, you know, all the different stuff that I require. Just got my little placement here temporarily. So as you can see, like there's stuff that's like missing. Oh, I do need grass blocks. Let me add that. But yeah, so like these little bits and pieces, like I can always like craft those on the fly later because I've got the logs. So yeah, that's pretty much good to go, I think. Except what did I need? Grass? Oh, wait. Oh, I do have grass. I was gonna say I never have grass because my grass and dirt go towards the project, which is coming along kind of nicely. As you can see, I have started to extend down now that I've got a conduit in place and I can actually place down here, but it is slow going since I do have to go and collect all the grass and dirt myself, and unfortunately nobody in the shopping district is actually selling dirt or grass, because honestly, why would you? I would be your only customer. But I would be a customer because I think buying by the shulker box would just be faster for me than going in and mining it by hand. But yeah, so let's go over to the shopping district and we can build on our plot. I'm going to let Harding build his in his own time. I am going to send him his schematic so he can build his up. And any extra materials that I have from my project, I'll just hand over to him and he can take care of that. And just like that, the build is done and on the server. So all I have left to do now, aside from hand over my spare materials to Harding so he can build his half, is I need some signage up on the front here. It's probably going to just be some, like a banner that just says Steff's or something. Or maybe I'll figure out a name for it. And of course I need to stock the shop. I've got a lot of barrels here and we've got some supplies from a couple of the farms that we've been building back at the base. So we're probably going to sell string, wool, bone blocks, bones, bone meal, like all of that kind of stuff, as well as gunpowder, maybe rockets, and anything else I can think of that we can generate. Maybe iron once we get a little bit more supply going. But I think that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like what you saw, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.